I knew that that Rob's pick was going to be a little crazy, so I went with a safe bet on this one. I knew that I remembered liking this a lot when I was a kid, and I still do quite a bit. A man and his family returned to his hometown, where he is then harassed by teenagers who died when he was a kid. Directed by Jason, do you have any information before I move on?
Tagline. Well, you normally say the director.
Do I?
Yeah.
I thought I waited. I can go.
Go ahead.
Directed by Tom McLaughlin, who did Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and One Dark Night, which we've reviewed on the show.
Love both of them.
Written by Lawrence Connor, who's done a lot of stuff. The Many Saints of Newark, Boardwalk Empire, Jewel of the Nile. Mark Rosenthal, who has a similar resume. They must be a partner. It's based on a short story by Stephen King. So what do you got, Jason?
In the Night Shift collection.
Tagline: with Pet Cemetery and Misery, Stephen King scared you to death. Now he's going to scare you back to life. Mm-hmm. Distributed by CBS. Made for TV.
TV movie.
I had no idea about
neither
that.
Did I.
No, so neither did I. Like my notes, I even wrote down plays like a TV movie. And then when I actually went to the distribution, I was like, but I still
I never saw it.
Release.
I rented it.
Rated R.
I remember renting it.
Me too.
So
that's all I ever saw.
They must have. Well, I mean,
must have been a miniseries.
Why is it even rated R? I mean, there ain't nothing.
Yeah, but like, if it would have been a mini series, they would have made a thing about it, especially on CBS. Like everyone knew about it,
right?
You know what I mean?
Maybe,
that was like,
but there were so many at this time. You know that maybe.
Yeah, they had the golden.
It's like the equivalent of a Lifetime movie.
Stand,
because I think
yeah, that's true.
I think you can find trailers that are like.
So did it have a theatrical release?
Should have.
I mean, it has a one sheet, and it's rated R. So like, they played the edited version on TV and released it. I don't.
There wasn't much they had to cut out. If
there ain't no way
it was edited.
They're not going to show it on TV and then have a theatrical. Who's going to go out and watch it after you've already?
Right.
I definitely don't remember seeing anything about it on TV.
But it is on Blu-ray through White Oak in 2015.
This movie's got a couple cast highlights. You got Tim Matheson, who plays Jim Norman. You'll know him from Black Sheep, Fletch, a ton of other stuff. Robert Russler's in this movie. Always nice to see him. He plays Lawson. You'll see him in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Thrashing, Weird Science. We interviewed him on one of our old podcasts. Really cool guy. Robert Hy Gorman as Scott Norman. You'll remember this kid as the kid from Leprechaun. He's also in Mr. Nanny and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. A lot of stuff. I did notice right off the bat, this has the TV movie feel. But a lot of Stephen King short stories that are turned into movies have some of these similar elements. If you look at, it was a TV movie, but the relationship between the brothers, he loves to have like a really saccharine relationship between brothers. And I don't know if it's because, I read that he was stuck with his brother all the time and they would read to each other, and maybe they had a, sugary sweet relationship, but I don't know. Me and my sister didn't go. Jason has brothers. Did you guys have this fucking palling around shit? I mean,
no,
but no. Yeah.
Gary beat me up and Eric kind of stood up for me.
There you go. So, I realized when I was watching this that I confused Tim Matheson and Rob Lowe quite a bit, like a ridiculous amount. Like I'll be thinking about a movie and I'll be like, is that Rob Lowe or Tim Matheson? I can't, like, sometimes I just can't figure it out. And I realized the reason is it's like that Gary Busey and Nick Nolte kind of thing. Like like Gary Busey looks like if you poured some water on Nick Nolte and then a bunch of things popped off of them, they'd be Gary Busey. And then if you fed them after midnight, who the fuck knows what would happen? But that's the same thing with Tim Matheson and Rob Lowe. Like Tim Matheson looks like someone spilled water on Rob Lowe, and then like a bunch of, you know, or vice versa, either way. Very handsome gremlins though. I mean, good looking guys. But yeah, like I said, Robert Russell's in this. I don't know why he's not in more things, because he's great in everything that you see him in. Even in that small part he's in Tales of Halloween. It's just he's great. He's fun. He's good. I like him.
He was in that Jacob's Wife.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Crampton.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, like I said, the brothers thing. There are so many similarities to it and Stand By Me and even Dreamcatcher with these flashback scenes. Like it really, I don't know if when you make a Stephen King movie, you have to have like these flashbacks that are so similar, like in tone and everything. Like they all seem like TV, even the ones from the new It, you know, the flashback scenes are always the same vibe. Like it's never different. I don't care who the director is. So that's just my opinion though. I laughed out loud at one point in this movie when Tim Matheson's sitting on the porch crying and his wife comes out and says, I thought I heard a child crying. And he's like, yeah, that was me. And the choice that this actress makes to like it's like a combination of sympathy for this man while also at the same time losing every bit of sexual desire to like fuck. And it's all right there on her face. It's one of the best things. But yeah, this is just fun, man. The greaser ghosts coming back. It's really fun when they appear in class. And you know, I like this movie a lot. It's probably one of my favorite Stephen King adaptions. You know, right there with Needful Things, or yeah, there's a bunch of them, I guess. I think I've recently discovered that I like Stephen King more than I thought I did. I always kind of shit on him, but I've got like 9 movies, like, and I like them all, you know? Like, you know, but yeah, just the worst actor in this movie. I just wanted to point him out. He's got to play Chip. He's the football player guy. And there's this whole part where they've got him in the car and he's acting scared, and it's some of the worst scared acting you're ever going to see. He's just terrible. And then the scene where they toss his body parts out of the car is like some old school, I don't even know how to it's bologna cake, like shit. I mean, it seems like
I ain't heard that term in a while.
It seems like, have you ever seen children shouldn't play with dead things? Mm-hmm. Like that's what it reminded me of, because first of all, it's like 50s car. You
didn't like it?
I did like it, but okay. It looks funny. Silly. It's bad. Yeah. It's like a bad scene. Like the guy's like all scared and his acting's terrible. The guys are like in his face, and then they just kill him. But it's such a like there should be some music like that horn from fucking Price is Right or whatever, you know. It's but this movie is like comfort food for me, so I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's satisfying like Thanksgiving. Yeah. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, so I saw this as a kid, but the only thing I could remember was the greasers, the car, and a train. Like that's the only thing I retained from watching this. Mm-hmm. This is the first time since then, so like there's no nostalgia factor for me at all. Yeah, so we got a ghost revenge movie, and there's some dramatic parts in this. I use a voice recorder on my phone. I was like, "Hey, Frank, how you holding up?"
You know, it's too
touching moments.
Emotional manipulation.
It's too saccharine. Yeah. It's too TV movie. Like anytime there's a brother, the thing I noticed anytime the brothers
hallmark of horror.
Right. Anytime the brothers are having a moment, I want, if you're going to watch this again, keep an eye out for the mom. Almost anytime that the brothers are out there having a moment, the mom is standing in a door with some rag, just like proudly observing. And it's like that kind of shit is too much. That can't break me, because I'm like TV movie. Like, like he's always washing a dish, you know.
badass ghost car. I love the car. Not a lot of practical effects, but what there is, I thought looked great. The greasers look great. But my favorite part of the movie, and it's funny sometimes how different we are, is the ghost car on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
When the first time they show their face, and then it cuts away to a great camera angle. It's backlit perfectly, and then you just start seeing body parts chucked out of the car. I loved it.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate it.
Part of the movie.
The acting before that, I did hate. I thought it was the worst.
I guess I didn't notice the guy. I watched this movie after watching Bright Vision, so these guys were. Everything was mwah. Like this really isn't a fair rating. I mean, back to back here. So it has a touching ending. Pulls on the heartstrings. It's a good movie. I'll pick this up someday for sure. I gave it a 6.
Yeah, Stephen King does do that to me sometimes because. Well, not just Stephen King. The miniseries at the end when John Ritter's riding down the fucking hill with his wife on the bike. You remember that?
Well, that's not John Ritter. That's John Boy Walton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah,
that part gets
sad as fuck because she's like a deaf mute at that point. She's still trapped in the deadlights.
What's her name?
Oh,
Lila.
Moira.
Yeah.
Moira.
Oh,
yep.
Moira.
No. Audra.
Yeah.
Audra.
Audra.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
He's
Moira
got his
was Hook.
There's another one that's Moira though. I know that. Yeah.
He's got his ponytail going and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, continue, guys. Where we at?
All right. So I do remember getting this VHS when I was a kid. Definite cool cover. What was it? Silhouetted guys with glowing eyes and fire behind their car and stuff. It was super cool. Dug it. I had no idea this was a TV movie. No idea at all. Because like I said, I don't remember ever seeing this advertised or anything. They might have just scrapped it and dumped it to VHS or something. It did play out like the TV movie, like you guys said, lots of fade to black transitions. So that helped Tubi. It was pre-edited. They knew when to throw in the commercial breaks there. I also had no idea it was written in 1974 by Stephen King. So that was like a real, like that's an oldie. I had no idea.
It's in the collection of short stories, Night Shift.
You know, I read that when I was a lot younger. And I didn't remember reading that one. But yeah, anyways, I like Tim Matheson. You know, he was Otter in Animal House, and he was also the voice of Johnny Quest, the original Johnny Quest series.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, that first season before they got like the robot and all that shit years later. It was weird. Anyways, like Tim Matheson, the little kid. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. I always thought him and the brother from Poltergeist were the same dude. And they must have had a time machine or something because they look similar.
They do, yeah.
It was so weird. I like the greasers were super cool. The one with blonde hair. I guess he was in that. He was in Scent of a Woman. He played one of the 3 rich frat kids that Al Pacino was going up against. You know, he's defending his buddy against. If you ever saw that movie. Okay, I have a gripe. One gripe. How did nobody else know what the fuck Milford was?
Yeah, that's a good point.
How?
It's a
cemetery.
Local cemetery.
Yeah.
Right. Also,
I got a gripe too. How didn't
anyone recognize these guys aside from him? Like, there's no one else.
That principal was probably there when they were kids. He should have known.
There was plenty of people that should have recognized the kids that died by the train. You're in a small town. Everybody knows the kids that got
That'd be news.
That makes that's like the legend of the tunnel. You know what I mean? That's like, that becomes an urban legend.
And would you, if that happened to you when you were a kid, would you ever go to that tunnel again? Not me. Not fucking ever, for any reason.
No
especially not if there's ghosts happening.
Right. Yeah.
Meet me at the tunnel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, they had to play it all out.
I'm moving to a different town.
So real quick, my gripe. I mean, how fast is that kid riding a bike? Because he is just way out ahead when he takes off in his van or whatever to chase after him. Like he never catches up with him. Oh, like this kid's driving like he's riding his bike like 60 miles.
Don't forget, only that kid and him could see the car.
Yeah. But the kid riding a bike is just like you can see.
Well, he was driving a VW bus. That town looked like it had a lot of twists and turns. He wasn't gonna flip that bus. Always wondered why they the one dude was a puppet when they showed their real faces. I believe it was North, the kind of chubby Elvis looking one. His was like a weird little hand puppet, but I kind of liked it. While the others was practical. Maybe they didn't have them long enough. Yeah, it looked like a
they did
like a mechanical head. Yeah, like when he goes, okay, let's show him the face, boys. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely not a dude. Definitely not a dude. I think maybe it was.
Yeah.
It was real wild, but it worked. You know what I mean? Awesome. I still liked it. It was the scene that they cut that dude. Time to rock, jock. Then, splashes. I love all the little splashes, and I love the head juggle out the window. That was funny. Like that's probably why it was rated R, that scene alone. That was it though. That's the only rated R thing. There's no cussing at all. You know, maybe they say shit once, but that's it. I always thought Lawson in his demon makeup, he looked like Leprechaun. He had those lines. It was the cheeks and the dark eyes and stuff. I always thought he looked like Leprechaun. The very final scene where everything plays out the way it should, and that the train with the red and stuff and the sound, like that was I love that scene. That was really cool. But yeah, I love it. This is a really good movie. I've liked this ever since I was a kid. It is a 7 out of 10 for me.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah, same thing as you guys. I grew up loving Stephen King movies and Stephen King stories. I rented this, same thing. I think Tim Matheson's really awesome. He's kind of underrated. He's in a lot of stuff nowadays too, you know, that's really good. He's been a character actor for a long time and other things too, but he's always solid. I mean, the zombie greasers look awesome, like we were just talking about. I can't, and the car, man, that car is so cool. I wish I had a car that cool, you know.
Yeah, that was bad.
The thing I do like about Stephen King stories are he's really good at balancing characters and the supernatural stuff. I think, you know, I feel like it's always really interesting what his ideas are for why shit is, how it weaves in and out, basically. And I thought this did a really good job of that. I love that ending. That ending is really good. And I unfortunately watched this first and then watched Fright Vision.
So did I.
Was severely disappointed, you know. So well, I mean, what can I say that you guys haven't already said? In all honesty, the makeup again was awesome. I love that it was written by the guy who did the Friday the 13th, Jason Lives. I mean, all around, it's one of the better Stephen King adaptations that come out of that time period. So I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's also one of the only Stephen King stories that doesn't kind of fuck it up at the end. I think, like, he always does that, and like
change the ending to make it fit more cinematic or something.
There's just always something weird at the end of his stories, it seems like. And you know, I like what he can do with the help of other people, because it's like his opinion on his own work I have no value in, because you know, even like that Shining, he likes the TV version more than the Kubrick version, and I think Kubrick fixed his story. Like, I think that Kubrick cleaned it up, made it a movie. Like, he just polished it up, made it like a perfect fucking movie. There's nothing admittedly, he did do all that weird shit to Shelley Duvall, and you know, there's some problems with the production of it, but he made a perfect movie. So Stephen King couldn't do that by himself. He'd make Maximum fucking whatever the hell, which is it, but it's not
that movie's awesome.
It is good, but you know, he's had a lot of coke. You just can't rely on it. But
he's even in on it nowadays. He admits it, like in the new It movies, you know, he plays the pawn shop guy, and he even busts the dude's balls, who's supposed to be him, Bill Dunbro, you know. Right. He says, "Oh, you're that guy that writes all those horror stories. Do you like them?" "Nah, I mean, they're okay. I hate the endings."
Yeah, you know, I like him as a person. I think he's hilarious, the shit he does sometimes. And you know, I want to see what his music sounds like, because he's got a band. Have you seen this band he's in?
Yeah. They play 50s shit, dude.
Yeah, I just want to see that. I want to see it. But yeah, I'm right here. I'm going to put in, just to kind of wrap this whole thing up, this, you know, for this movie, a clip from our Robert Russler interview where he talks about this movie. So we'll come back from that and discuss what's going on next month.
So yeah, let's move on to Vamp. That is another one of my favorites, dude. I love that one. It's almost like, you know, it got pushed behind a few other things. 1986, by the way, was a hot fucking year for good movies. I mean, there was a lot.
Yeah, I loved Vamp, man. I had a blast.
Yeah,
Vamp.
That is great.
I mean, I was raging in 1986, my friends. I was having such a good time, man. I mean, you know, honestly, my wife knows this about me. She knows who she married, but I mean, I was just boning down everything that moves, and I was making movies, and I was having a great time.
Robert, let's slow this down. What it was like to be a movie star and be 20, 25 years old and having every chick in the fucking world wanting to bang you. That is insane, right?
Yeah, it did not suck.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, what we were doing back then is we were just enjoying, man, and having fun. And, you know, Downey and I were best friends, and, you know, his movie career was taking off, and I had the blessings and opportunities to be working and doing films that I enjoyed, and working with Vamp and meeting Richard, who was a fantastic director on Vamp. Grace Jones.
Oh, God.
Watanabe,
what's going on there?
Chris Makepeace, all these guys. You know who I really, really enjoyed working with too was Sandy Barron. And I remember Sandy Barron as a kid, and he was a very famous comedian. And I remember he had when I was a real young boy, I used to see the Sandy Barron show. And he had like a little like comedy hour on television, and he was sort of like a Milton Berle kind of guy. And meeting him and working with him and finding out that he was just like a lovable stoner was pretty cool.
Nice. So yeah, Grace Jones. Let's kick back to her real quick. Wow, what's going on with her, man? Were you guys?
I didn't realize how amazing Grace is. You know, like, first of all, she speaks like 8 languages.
Wow. So where's she from originally?
Originally Jamaica.
I see.
Yeah. But you know, just really was totally into the whole Euro scene and New York and the Andy Warhol scene, and you know, she was a big disco queen, and you know, she had already started her acting career and was just a really strong personality. And one thing I learned a lot from Grace too. You know, Grace was very adamant about sticking to your guns, and when in Rome, not doing as the Romans do, but doing as you do, and staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, Grace was just a really powerful personality and super cultured and well-read, and you know, a musician and an actress and a poet and an artist. And she introduced me to a lot of great people. We went to New York. I think that's about the time that I was sort of kind of dating Brooke Shields.
Whoa.
We were kind of hanging out, and I was really into Brooke. I thought she was like, you know.
Yeah, she was pretty good looking, man.
Yeah, and super sweet, super nice, and we were just being really innocent in our relationship. By the way, we weren't full boyfriend and girlfriend. We were kind of dating, and I just really enjoyed hanging with her. And we had gone out to some nightclubs in New York, and Grace introduced me to a lot of really important artists and socially impactful people. You know, like the whole artist scene over at. We went one night to a Andy Warhol party, and I had never, you know, been in that kind of an environment before. And you know, all of a sudden we step into this spot up on Park Avenue, and the elevator door opens into this palace, and it was like, you know, 70% of the people in that room were people that I had recognized from various parts of entertainment, from the music business to acting. There was even some politicians mixed in with a little bit of underbelly, which was kind of cool. It was like that whole mix. And, you know, it was just a really exciting time for me. And it was inspiring, very inspiring.
Yeah.
And we partied down, man. We got down. We had fun. We enjoyed ourselves, and you know, we painted the town red.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I can only imagine, dude. The partying must have been crazy. So, were you and Grace Jones ever a number or not?
No,
Okay.
I didn't want Dolph Lundgren to choke me out. So.
Yeah, I don't think you could hold up to Dolph Lundgren. Nothing against you, Robert, but Dolph Lundgren is a fucking...
I mean, I've been known to whoop an ass, but Dolph Lundgren, I didn't want to have anything to do with him. Actually, Grace and I were just friends, and we were never like, even though it was rumored at the time that a lot of people, because we were so close, thought that, you know, we were banging, but not even.
She's a beautiful woman, man. In her own right, she is a beautiful specimen of a woman. You know what I mean? Yeah,
she's awesome, man.
Yeah,
she's powerful.
Wow.
Yeah, she's also intimidating.
Yeah, I got that just from, I mean, I never met her, but I've got that from the movie, absolutely. When she comes out and does that little dancing number, holy gee, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and that was another cool person that I had met through her was the artist that painted her body makeup was Keith Haring.
Wow.
And, you know, Keith Haring has, you know, really made an impact in the art world, and may he rest in peace. But, you know, the funny thing is I was hanging out with him and laughing, and we were just like, honestly, just smoking a lot of fatties together. The guy liked to smoke good kush.
So,
and,
wow.
And one day he makes me this T-shirt, you know, and he does this whole collage of, you know, how he does those the sort of outlines of people.
Yeah.
He was very famous for that. So he drew me this whole T-shirt. It took him about, I don't know, 30 minutes, and he signed the bottom of it, and he gave it to me, and after he had passed away, I was looking through all my stuff for that T-shirt, and I couldn't find it, and I never to this day know what happened to it. And an art dealer told me that shirt at the time would have been worth about $100,000.
Jesus.
So I lost a $100,000 T-shirt.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, it's just knowing that. More than having that was just kind of like the memories of just hanging with that dude and having a lot of laughs and, you know, going out to eat in New York and hanging out in Central Park and playing Frisbee. And it was, like I said, you know, I felt really blessed. And looking back in hindsight, I didn't realize how good I had it. You know, I certainly didn't think I was taking it for granted. Yeah. But if I would do it over again, I think I would have paid more attention to what I was doing. But maybe that was part of also why I had so much fun, because I didn't really analyze the situations. I just utilized them all,
We're back, and if I can't say, since we did watch the Robert Ressler clip, he was another thing about this movie I really liked. I think he shines in this movie. I wish he was in more stuff. I like that guy. So